What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Rising World gameplay series. So, I'm doing this one a little bit differently. I am going to do this more of a walkthrough slash let's play type of a thing. I'm still not really doing this in a tutorial style because I feel like I'd get into too much detail for that. But what I am going to do is everything in this is going to be on camera. I won't do anything off camera and then do a little intro of, hey, check out what I did. Everything will be in the series. And what I'm hoping is I'd like to get a bunch of people involved because I am not an expert at this game by any means. I'm still new at it, but I just wanted to make a more detailed series. Well, let's get started with it anyway. We're gonna go right from the get-go here. So you can see this is the Wastelands. That's from my other series. So we're just gonna start a brand new world here. And I'm not gonna go real high tech into details and stuff like that. I'm just going to kind of breeze over things. Alright, since we've got a Wastelands, let's call this one the Territories. Now, you can change your world types. I haven't done this yet. There's super flat and surreal. And I don't know what the difference is. Surreal might not even be playable yet. There are a few things in this game. I believe there's survival. Well, let's find out. Survival, creative, Stranded and Adventure. Stranded and Adventure aren't even playable yet. This game is in alpha. It's early release. And so there's a lot of changes, a lot of bugs and things like that. But so far the game is really, really cool. You can change the ore spawn percentage as well right here. Go low, medium, and high. I think that's what that, I'm assuming that's what that means. And so I'm just leaving it default. Caves, you can enable them or disable them. I don't want to be in a world without caves. Vegetation, we're definitely keeping that enabled so we can make farms. And here's all the animals now that have been introduced into the game. There's a big update just recently, about a week ago, as of this recording. I know most of the updates were performance tweaks and bug fixes and things like that. But they did add some animations and the newest, biggest thing is a trading system. When you're in multiplayer, you can actually trade with other players. But they're continuously adding in animals. Not every animal will drop it, meat or skins or anything like that just yet. That's another thing that's going to be added into the game here soon. So let's go ahead and create our world and see where we're at. From what I understand, the bears, it's bear, elk, and goats are the animals that will attack you as of right now. Bear will actually attack you unprovoked. The other ones you have to go up and give them a whack in the face or something like that. And then they will try to attack you back. Alright, so here's what we've got going on. When it spawns you, press I for inventory. And it actually automatically spawns you with a pickaxe and an axe, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to go around and barehanded punching wood and stuff like that. So the default key, like you can see right here, there's some vegetation. I'm not even sure what this is. Default key is F to interact with items. I rebound my key to E. So you pick that up. That was a potato. So the potatoes, we can eat those. We'll get into farming and things like that later, but for right now, let's go check out what we've got going on here. Now, we do have a journal. You press J to access the journal. We'll do that in just a second. And the journal is really just to get you started type of a thing. I think it only gives you the first couple of steps, and then after that, you're kind of on your own. But it is pretty helpful just to get you started. The first time I played this game is actually episode 1 of my other Rising World series. I didn't know anything about the game. I actually went on camera, but I ended up really enjoying it, and I think that this game has a ton of potential. So I think it's going to end up being a pretty big contender in the survival game world. And so let's this biome here actually doesn't look too bad to set up some kind of a home. We want to be near trees. Oh, there's a bear right there. We're gonna stay away from you. So if you press Z, you can zoom, so kind of like you have a set of binoculars right off the bat. So we're going to stay away from that fella. Here's some of the other animals. There's one of the rams. I got killed by one of those my first night. I didn't realize that they would hurt you as bad as they do. And we got pigs. There's watermelons and cows and tomatoes and apple trees. So there's a lot of good stuff in this biome. I think that was the biggest thing in their update uh, around the end of the year, Christmas of 2015, was adding biomes into the game. I'm not going to go huge into the past of the game. I'm going to really focus on obviously the present and the updates that they plan on doing in the future. But let's get this journal out here and check it out. So the first steps, and I'm not going to read this verbatim to everybody. That gets kind of boring for you guys. So really, it's just telling us to take out the axe and how to pick up logs and things like that. But I'm going to go through and show you all of that stuff, so we don't really need the book at the moment. So in a nutshell, what that thing is saying is bust out your axe, grab some wood, and make a shelter. So let's go ahead and do that. I want to see what's over this hill real fast, though. I'd like to be close to a forest biome as well, because it takes a ton of wood to build a decent sized house. One of the nice things is the saplings do grow back relatively quickly, so as long as you kind of recycle every time you cut a tree, plant a tree, and you'll pretty much be set on a full cycle of wood. Alright, so let's go ahead and harvest a few trees here, and then we'll figure out where we're gonna go. Now, another one of the updates that's coming up here shortly are some new player animations, which is going to include a hand holding onto this axe. It's kind of funny seeing an axe just floating around in the air, but that is a thing that they recently said that they're in the process of updating. And then the other one too is I think it's the full body player animations. I hope they're updating that. My son and I were playing, so I got to see the actual full body animations for the first time, and man, they're creepy. Alright, so you can see when the trees fall, they don't just drop into logs, you actually have to hit them again. And so I'm hitting E, and I'm trying to find if the trees don't drop saplings every time, but when they do, they're kind of hidden. They'll drop into the grass, and they just look like a matted down area of grass. And a lot of times I end up just walking right by them. Let's see what this one will do. So the direction of the series, the direction I'd like to take it anyway, is, like I said, not a full-blown tutorial or anything like that, but I guess kind of a walkthrough in the style that I am going to be playing. I know there's probably a million things that I'm going to be doing that people are going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that. If I do, yell at me in the comments. I'd like to get other people involved, and I know there's people out there that have done tons of stuff in this game, and they know a lot about it, and they're just going through and watching videos and stuff. Leave some comments if you see something like, hey man, try doing this. It's a lot faster. Let me know. That's the whole reason I'm doing this video series, is to try to get other people involved that play the game, because I know it's a relatively small community right now that are into the game. But I think that's going to change pretty quickly if we can get the popularity of the game up. And oh, there's a sapling right there. So I'm not going to plant it yet because I don't know where I'm going to put our base. So the pigs, they will drop bacon, and that's about it at the moment anyway. They drop 8 pieces of bacon, I think it is. And this is just me. I like to build my houses kind of next to little cliff sides and stuff. So I'm going to go check this area out over here and see what we got. And see if we can find some ores along the way. Now, these are the crevices that form in the biomes. And it looks like there's some ore down there. Yeah, it looks like that might be copper or something like that. These cave systems are crazy. They're very deceiving. Some of them, they'll look like you can just kind of walk down them, like they're on a 45-degree angle, like a typical stairway or something. And then all of a sudden, you're straight down 30 feet into a hole and you're dead. So you got to be really careful when you're exploring cave systems to make sure that it is actually something that you can walk into. I think these guys will kill you too. That's a recent addition to the game, I believe. So I'm pretty sure they'll kill you. I'm not going to stick around or get close enough to find out. Alright, so we're getting into a snowy biome here, and I don't really want to live in there. I live in the north already, and it's freezing, so I don't want to live in the cold in a game. Alright, well, I'm just going to run across this prairie here, or this plains, and we'll see in a second. Well, I think we might have found the spot where I'm going to set up my initial base. I don't know if this will be permanent home or not. There's rabbits and stuff. This is a pretty cool looking area though. And there's a lot of little stone additions in here that could possibly get some ore for us. And looks like there's enough trees around to support making us a home. I'm gonna see. It looks like there might be a little cave over here. Let's go. Oop, there's a bunny rabbit's floating in the air. Whoa. Yeah, that's a big cave there. So we'll stay away from that for the moment. There's some potatoes floating. See if we can grab them. See, now these caves, you'll see once we get some torches going that this cave probably isn't as deep as what it actually looks. Light doesn't travel very far inside caves in this game. So let's see where we want to actually set up a base, and we'll get a little area cleared out. Let's go on top of this. I think this would be a cool little spot. We'll overlook the valley here. Ooh, and we got a big hole. Yeah, we'll clear this out. We'll just flatten this and we'll overlook this whole area. I think that'll be pretty sweet. Now the first thing we want to concentrate on is the basic shelter, and that's going to allow us to sleep through the night. It'll fast forward us through the night right to morning, and that will also secure our spawn spot. So if we do die, it will respawn us back at our little base here. And there's also a ton of commands that you can do. I'm not going to get into commands. I don't use those a whole lot. There's things that you can do. There is one command that's useful because the game is still a little bit glitchy right now, being early access. If you press F2, that will actually put you into fly mode. So you press F2 and then spacebar. Spacebar has you fly, and I think it's maybe control drops you back down. But you can see you'll actually go right through the ground, and it's actually a good way to find caves and stuff like that. But I try to do legitimate survival as much as I possibly can. But you will actually find yourself falling through the ground. That happened to me once in the middle of the game. I literally just fell right through the ground and had no idea what was happening, and pressed F2 and flew back up, and everything was okay. But it took a minute to figure out what the heck was actually going on. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we'll put our basic shelter just right up in here somewhere. Eventually we'll flatten all of this right out, and we'll put in a little foundation and a spot for some crafting benches and things like that. So let's You open up I for inventory, and that gives you your initial crafting. So there's a small shelter that we're gonna get ready to build here. And in order to do that, we need 32 sticks. So for sticks, you go to resources, and sticks take 1 piece of lumber. Lumber, you get 4 pieces of lumber from 1 log. So we got 20 logs, and so I'm just going to go ahead and buzz up all of the logs here, or most of them anyway. We'll do about half of the lumber. Alright, so now we go back to our small shelter, and we got the sticks to craft it. So we craft the object. Now it's in our inventory, so we go back to there, and here is our shelter. And we'll go over some of the food and stuff like that here shortly. But I just wanted to get this shelter going and just be ready for nighttime to get our spawn point. Now it looks kind of funny right now, like the shelter is sunk deep down into the ground. It's actually just in really tall grass. So we're going to right click and hold it, and that's going to put our shelter down. You can rotate items by using your left or right arrow keys. So before you place them, you can spin them around and get it placed exactly where you want. Yeah, I think this is going to be a cool spot for a house. Watching that sunset every night. I can dig it. Alright, so I don't know what time of the day night officially starts. But I'm not even going to try to sleep just yet. Let's go into our journal and see what we've got going on. So in the first step was to do the lumber and the sticks and that kind of stuff, and then it just shows you how to craft and tells you to make your shelter. And then the last step here is to make the crafting workbench, and this is pretty much the key that unlocks the entire rest of the game. And so we're gonna go ahead and make that because we want to make some tools to get a farm going. I think for a farm I'll just flatten that area out down there, and we can put in a nice sized farm. So let's get our... I'm actually going to make the workbench down here, because that's probably where we're going to be spending most of our time initially. So let's get some shade under this tree here, and we'll put our workbench right there. So let's find out how to make a workbench. So let's go under crafting stations, workbench. It takes 16 lumber, and we've already got that. So let's go ahead and make our bench. Inventory. Now the hotbar, I know I'm just kind of randomly going over things. I'm just bringing stuff up as I think about it. Like I said, I've never done any kind of a walkthrough or tutorial or anything like that, so we're getting into new territory for me. Now it is kind of funky at first, trying to place items because we don't have the ability to flatten land out just yet. Let's go ahead and put you right here. Okay, so now we've got our first workbench. Now the one thing that we don't have to worry about are creepy green creatures sneaking up behind us and blowing up and things like that. This is pretty much person versus environment. The only thing that's going to kill you is yourself and some of the violent animals. So just stay away from the animals and don't fall into any crevices, and you should do okay. Alright, well, let's get some light going here. So for light, you actually don't need coal or anything like that to start out with. We just need sticks. So for a torch, we got 100 sticks. So let's make a bunch of torches. We also need to make some torch mounts. You can't just randomly place torches just wherever you feel like it. So let's make some of these torch mounts. And get you over there. Alright, so the torches, you can see it's dynamic lighting, that as long as you have a torch in your hand, you're going to light up the area, which is really nice for exploring early in the game and stuff like that. And we're going to leave some of these veggies here and try to get some saplings from them so we can start our farm. So yeah, we've got the dynamic lighting, which is really nice. So we're keeping this tree here. So I'm going to put my first torch down right at the base of the tree. So if I right click at the tree, it doesn't do anything. I can't just place my torch anywhere here. So we actually have to get out. And it's going to be hard to see, but I have a torch mount in my hand right now. So I'm going to right click it and set it into the ground. And so there's my torch mount. And you got to wait for the little plus sign to pop up. And you can hold down right click, and now we've got an actual torch light. Now I don't know if these go out or if they disappear or anything like that. I haven't actually noticed. I haven't stuck around in the same spot long enough to find out yet. Alright, so for our crafting bench, let's see what we're capable of doing in here. So this opens up a whole bunch of new possibilities like we already had the resources, which is the lumber and the sticks, but now we've got lighting, we've got lanterns and bigger torches. Looks like a chimenea or whatever those things are called. So all sorts of new things that we can do, weapons, and this is how you cook your food initially and stuff like that. But the strange thing is, though, is you can't just build with this crafting table. You actually have to go to crafting stations, and block benches are how you create blocks to build your houses and things like that, and foundations and basically your basic building blocks. Your saw bench, you can make furniture and shelving and things. Anvils are how you make all of your metal out of. You get iron and copper ingots and things like that, and you can make rakes and swords and all the tools that you need. Smelting furnace, that's pretty much self-explanatory. That'll just smelt your ores. And loom, I don't think looms do a whole heck of a lot right now. They make some cloth and maybe some clothing or something like that. I haven't gotten into that yet. And then the tier 2 workbench, it's just more techy, upgraded stuff. The stuff that it starts you off with is more of a, it's definitely not like a caveman type of a thing. We're more techy than that, but maybe like the start of the Renaissance era, maybe. So that's what we've got going on for the crafting side of things, and obviously we're going to get deeper into that when it comes time to start making some stuff. But since it's nighttime right now, let's go ahead and set our spawn while I'm thinking about it. Alright, there it is. Can get lost very easy in this game. So, and I'll probably keep saying this, but you know, the default action key is F, but mine is E, so I'm gonna hit E, and now we'll sleep for the night. Alright, it's morning, and let's see what kind of view we have in the morning here. I'm all about the views. Well, eventually we'll have some of this hill knocked down, but I guess I'll take a sunset over a sunrise this time. Alright, so I think I'm gonna we'll do our first initial mining of some stone to get a smelting furnace going, and then we'll probably wrap it up for the first episode there. We'll see how long this takes, what kind of time we got. Yeah, so let's go find a spot that's got some stone, and we should probably eat real fast too. Now down in the bottom right, it's hard to see right now because it's almost the same color as the grass. There is a fork and knife and looks like a 5-gallon carboy jug of water. That starts out bright green and will turn to red. It goes from green to yellow to red as you start to get hungry. So right now, there currently isn't a lot of options for food. That's all stuff that's going to be changed. I mean, this is definitely very early access, so there's going to be tons of changes coming up. So right now, we'll put some tomatoes up into our hotbar here. Tomatoes will actually satisfy your hunger and your thirst. I think the next update is going to be water. I think the next update is supposed to be water and the first person hand animations and stuff like that. So we won't have a floating tomato. We'll actually have a hand holding onto it. Alright, so let's go find a little spot with some stone, and we'll get a little bit of that to make our furnace. So let's see what this looks like on the inside here. We've got it. Okay, so we've got our torches. Okay, so now it looks to me like this doesn't go straight down, so I'm going to try it. We're going to just slowly move into here. Alright, there. See? Now that looks a heck of a lot deeper when you're looking into it. But now when you go back up, see how much steeper of a incline it is now? When you're looking at it this way, you're just kind of walking into it. But when you walk back out, you're like climbing a hill out. So that's what I was talking about when I was saying that these caves and crevices can be extremely deceiving. So you got to be careful with that. You can actually find yourself very easily trapped in situations because of it. So I'm going to put in a torch mount. Let's see. I can't even see where to put the torch mount. I guess we'll put one right here just to get the place lit up. Because this is where I'm going to take the stone from. Let's get one more mount into the back here. Alright. So you can see the torches do their jobs pretty well. Now the mining is a little bit different compared to some other mining games that you might be used to. One of the nice things is it doesn't just mine out a perfect chunk of a block. It's like semi-realistic mining, where you're actually just kind of boring holes into the side, and you can go anywhere you want. And this is about as open world as you can get. From what I understand, if it's in this world, you can interact with it, you can break it, you can do stuff with it. So I think that's going to be one of the more intriguing things about the game, is all the possible interactions with everything. Now, when you are mining, we haven't found any ores or anything yet, but when you do mine, you automatically pick stuff up as you go. And so right now we've got 32 stone. I don't remember how much it is. We need quite a bit of stone for the furnace. I think you need like 130 stone, possibly. I honestly don't remember. So we're just going to mine a little bit more. We'll do a little bit of overkill with the stone. Well, that should be plenty of stone for our furnace. So let's go make that real fast and see where we want to put it. So let's get this smelting furnace made. These furnaces, they're pretty big, so you gotta make sure you have a decent sized area to put it. So I'm just gonna start it right out in the middle of the open here. Eventually I'd like to get it into like maybe that little crevice that we were mining the stone from or something like that, but for right now this will work. So this is how the smelting furnace works, and at the moment you don't actually need fuel. I'm assuming that they're going to eventually come up with an update that you have to load this up with coal in order to use it, because coal is available in the game. I don't think that you can actually do anything with it just yet. Not that I know of anyway. If you can, leave that in a comment below. Anything that I might be missing or might not know about, and somebody else knows, by all means, let me know. So for right now anyway, in order to turn the furnace on, if you hit your interact button, you can hit it twice and it'll bring the little menu up. Hit it again, and then you interact with the object. So basically what you do is, once we do find ore, you just put it in your hand and you place ore into each one of these. This is an ingot mold, And so one furnace can hold or can smelt 24 ingots at a time, which is pretty nice. And that's how many ingots you need for the anvil is 24. So that's gonna be next on our agenda. Is, like I said, we'll do some exploring. Hey, our cow is trying to cook itself. We're gonna get out of there. We're gonna do some exploring. We'll grab some trees and resources and try to find some iron. So I think we're gonna go ahead and just wrap it up for right now. Call that good for our first episode. So I appreciate everybody watching, and let me know if you enjoy the series, if you think I should keep going with it. If you have any suggestions or anything, please let me know. Like I said, that's the whole reason I'm doing this series, is try to get other people involved and just generate some interest in the game. I think that there's going to be a pretty good, loyal following to this game in no time. So I'll quit babbling and leave you to it, and I will see you guys next time.